What's going on, boys and girls? It's your boy Don here, and yes, lads, as promised, I did say I was going to bring you a new series, and here it is. It's called The Takeover. Now, the reason why I'm calling it The Takeover, because ideally what I'm going to be doing is taking over a different club after I've met all the objectives that each club has given me. So the first club I'm going to have to take over is, of course, Chelsea Football Club. I'm not going to say the previous, but European champion, Champions League champions, European champions. We won the Premier League, off the top of my head, probably 3 times. FA Cup champions as well. Who better to take over than Chelsea? Because right now they need a manager. So I've decided to step up, take the reins, take the club to new heights, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, lads. So, boys, if you do like this content, if you are hyped for your boy Don to take on every club that I can possibly take on in this series, smash the like button. If it's the first time you're here, subscribe, put the bell on so you know when a new video goes up on the channel, and we're about to get stuck in. So, of course, the first thing that we are actually offered is a pre-season tournament invite, and of course, I have to say yes. Mainly due to the fact that this is going to be a good opportunity for the boys to hopefully boost their confidence, and as well as for me to get a good idea of where my club is at. So first thing I'm doing is checking out where we're at financially. Of course, Chelsea is not making no profit. However, we are making some earnings through transfer, so we've got rid of a few players. However, our expenditure seems to be quite high, so I need to be able to balance that out. However, Roman Abramovich has given us a nice little transfer kitty of over 80 million. So first thing I'm definitely going to do is look to strengthen the team where necessary. Now, looking at the objectives, brand exposure, domestic success, and continental success is crucial. I need to make sure that I win the Champions League and win the Premier League and the FA Cup. So ideally what the owners are asking me to do is win the treble within my first year. Is that impossible? Of course not. It's impossible. With 80 million in the kitty, of course I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win the treble. I've got to believe, because if I don't believe, the boys are not going to believe either. So boys, so lads, so what I want you to do is help me out. Which player do you think I should sign? You all know what the Chelsea squad very, very well. Which player do you think would suit the team at this moment in time? So the transfer window is open. We are still in pre-season. I do have some idea of what players we need. I know that we need a striker, we need someone, and we need a backup for defense, and we need a better midfield. So as you can see, I'm looking to see where my scouts are looking at, but ideally I don't really trust my scouts, guys, so I really want you guys to help me out, please. So at the moment I'm looking at the squad, and I want to get the lineup so I know exactly what type of lineup I'm working with, what type of squad that I've got as well. So I'm looking at the formation. Ideally, I'm quite comfortable with the 4-4-2. It's probably one of my favourite formations, probably the most balanced formation. However, in terms of defensive options for this formation, it's not looking very good at the moment. So I'm just playing around, seeing who I can put into the lineup. At first, I'm quite happy with Giroud being up top. I'm going to put Morata up there as well, with Hazard on the left. I've got Kante and Fabregas in the middle, Willian on the right mid, Azpilicueta. I'm going to put him back on the left, actually. As you can see, I'm going to put him on the right. He's on the left at the moment, but I'm going to put him back on the right with Rudiger and Christensen. Now, first thing I'm thinking is the midfield is not looking very, very strong at the moment. And ideally, I'm looking around in the reserve, seeing who I can put in the midfield next to Kante. And it's only Fabregas. And Fabregas gives me no defensive options. So ideally, striker, not much pace up top. No defensive, hardly, very thin defensive options in regards to the midfield. So I might look into maybe getting a possible CM to replace Fabregas. And maybe another CM at the moment. I'm not comfortable with Rudiger and Christensen at the moment. So I'm going to be shopping around looking for some defenders. So the first person I'm going to be looking for to sign is my man Jordi Alba. I've used him a few times. Big fan of his in real life. I was a very big fan of his when he was at Valencia, and then Barcelona went and bought him. Even though he's not the shortest, he is quite good in the air. He's very fast. He links up with the attack. He's got good positioning, and he is definitely a defender I want to add to my team. Second option, lads, I want to bring back is my man Diego Costa, my favourite striker in the world. Arguably, I know there's a lot of good strikers, but I want to bring him back because Conte should not have got rid of him. He should have stayed at the club, so he's definitely going on the short list. Next option is a player for the future, Kylian Mbappe Lotin, 18 years old, absolutely fantastic future ahead of him. I've got to put him on the short list as well. So I thought, why not start off my managerial career at Chelsea with a bang and sign a very, very good player, and that is Jordi Alba. So I'm speaking to the club at the moment. We've got a good relationship with Barcelona. We've met a few times in the Champions League, so I thought, why not start off my negotiations with them. They've currently valued Jordi Alba at 35 million. Now I'm not gonna meet their asking price. Ideally, I'm not gonna take the mick. I don't wanna meet their asking price, but I don't wanna go too low. I'm gonna try and meet somewhere in the middle, so at least we can negotiate something quite reasonable. Jordi Alba is even though he's 28 at the moment, I'm still ideally looking for a player maybe a little bit younger. I'm not too sure at the moment, but as I said, 29 mil I think is a fair price. I don't think they should get upset with that. I'm looking for them to bump me up, but not too low at the moment, boys, if I'm really honest. But unfortunately, he didn't want none of it. My first negotiation went completely down the drain, and he left the office so fast before I can even blink. But I'm not going to be discouraged. I'll try going for Diego Costa, but they want 70 mil. I'm not paying that price. Not for 70 million. That's pretty much all of our transfer key going back to Diego Costa. We want it back, but I need to be a bit realistic because other areas which we need to strengthen. So, not saying that I'm not going to get Diego Costa. I might come back for him. So I'm panicking a little bit if I'm really honest, because I'm looking to see what my scouts have come back with, and to be honest with you, I'm not very happy with my scouts. That's why I need you guys to help me out and let me know who you think I should get to join the team, because my scouts don't seem to be doing a good job. But I'm going to work with them, lads. I'm not going to get too worried about this. So I'm looking to see what they've come back with in the Premier League. And really, the only person I'm really looking at is possibly Mendy. Now, I know he's just signed for Man City. I know he's not looking to go anywhere. We've scouted him, left-footed, 6'1", 22 years of age. He's fast, he's strong, he's good in the air. He's just arrived from Monaco. So I think he might be someone that we might look to possibly buying maybe in January or in the summer the following year. I put Rodrigo onto our transfer list. I'm a big fan of Rodrigo. Very fast, left-footed, so I think that's someone we might look at. Thibaut Warner, definitely 100%. Another a high prospect for the future. 21 years of age, fast, very good finishing as well. Someone we can definitely work with in the future. So he's onto the short list as well. 27-year-old Immobile, again, 6'1", very fast, very good in the air, great finishing, high prospect. However, there is someone who came to mind. As I was looking for in Calcio, I thought, why not get our man Milanovic Savic? I think that's how you pronounce his name. Why not get Savic? He's 6'4", 4-star, weak foot, attack minded, very good in defense. Let's go get him, lads. So I'm back with my friend again. I know he drives a hard bargain. So I thought, let me not mess around with this man. Let me just offer him a transfer, which I think that will be more than reasonable. He knows I'm a new manager. He knows I'm willing to impress. I think word got out that I'm looking for a midfielder to replace Fabregas. So I thought, why not meet the asking price? Unfortunately, he knew I'm not very good at this, so he decided that he's not just going to decline my offer, but he's also going to raise it to 43 million. Wasn't too happy with this because that's pretty much half of our transfer budget going towards Savic. Obviously, he is our first option to buy. Again, I'm not looking to meet their asking price, so I thought I'm gonna let him know I'm not someone that I'm not just gonna roll over and let you have your way with my war chest. So I thought, let me go down a little bit. He said 31. Let me go down to 40 mil. Let's see what they say if I say 40 million. I think that's a very reasonable offer. I leave the sell-on clause for 5% for Lazio to get if we do sell him on to another club. Hoping that he'll agree to that, and he does, which I'm ecstatic about. Finally, we reach an agreement. We shake hands, and I introduce him back into the car park and send him back on his way back to Italy with the good news. So word gets out to Savic's team. He decides to bring his agent back to London, and Savic decides to come and meet me as well. And I've arranged a meeting with Savic, and negotiations is about to start. Now, I know contract negotiations can be quite lengthy, so obviously I don't want to mess around with Savage. I want him to know that he's very, very important to the club. We see that he has a bright future. There is a place for him in the squad. I know the World Cup is just around the corner, so I'm not looking to bench him. He wants to start for his country, so let's just get the negotiations underway. And he wants to know what's his squad role. I said, look, mate, you're going to be crucial to our first team. Okay, now obviously this is a big step forward for me, because they know that I want him really badly, so they can just put out this astronomical contract offer. But this guy's been in the game long enough. His age has been in the game long enough. I heard he's a really nice guy as well, so I thought, why not? He's not going to mess me around. Currently, he's getting just under 50,000 a week at Lazio. Now, I know that he's looking for more, so let's see what he offers. So I give him 4 years. Ideally, players, I want to see how he's got for 2 years. I know a lot of people like to be sniffing around Chelsea, but I give him a nice 4-year contract because I want him to have not just a place in the club, but a career in London as well. So they're very happy with that, and I'm very happy to proceed with negotiations. So far, we're starting off on the right foot and we're all on the same page. Now, here comes the most important part. They want to know if we're going to keep the release clause. He doesn't want to keep the release clause. They want to know if we're going to keep the release clause. And to be quite honest with you, I don't like release clauses. I think they're probably the worst attributes to have inside of a contract, because anyone could just come and meet the clause and then suddenly you've got no say. So they've come in now with the current wage, and they want 70,000. Now, I know a few of my first team boys are on 70k, and Savage he's quite young. He's only 22. He's got a bright future, very talented midfielder. But again, I'm not willing to meet their offer. So I decided to counter their offer and rejig the what they've asked for. All my new players, I always offer them 60k. I think that's a fair offer, considering that the wage budget that we're under. I think 60k is average at Chelsea Football Club, and I think the board will be quite happy with the current wage structure that I'm adhering to. The appearance fee, I said, he said 20. He said 20 goals. I said 25, and I'll give you just over 4 mil if you meet 25 goals. Considering I'm going to be getting Savage doing a lot of defensive work, I don't think he's going to meet those 25 goals, if I'm really honest with you. So let's see what they're actually willing to accept this offer. And they're not. They want an extra 6,000 on top of that wage budget. Looking at Savage, he's smiling because he knows that I'm probably going to give it to him. He wants a signing on bonus of 1.1. And they're quite happy with the 25 goals. He'll get 4.1 mil. I thought, you know what? Why not? I'll offer that. I'm quite happy with that. Savage is happy. His team's happy. We shake hands and we'll decide to go to the bar and have a few beers to celebrate. But my job is not over yet. I still want a striker. I'm not happy with Morata and Giroud because they're not exactly the fastest, and I want a fast striker. I want a striker that's good in the air, and I think I have that in Morata and Giroud. But I want someone who's going to run on the end of any flick-ons. And I think I have that in both Werner and Immobile and Rodrigo. Unfortunately, I can't get Thibaut Warner, so he's definitely off my transfer list. But doesn't mean that I'm going to leave him. I might go back for him. Immobile, he is someone I definitely want to pick up. Very experienced. I know Italy at this moment in time are trying to get into the World Cup, even though they're out at the moment. But at this time in 2017, they're trying to get into the World Cup. So I thought, why not go in? Again, his current value is 41 mil. Same, I thought, let me go in, not too low, 35. I think that's a reasonable offer. I decided to bring down the sell-on. Actually, no, I thought I'd keep it just the way it is and offer that to the club. I think that's a very reasonable offer. Unfortunately, he decided, again, he doesn't want none of it, and negotiations broke down before we can even speak to Immobile. So unfortunately, Immobile is not coming to Stamford Bridge on this occasion. Now, the gamble here is that we're going for Rodrigo. We haven't scouted Rodrigo. Even though I've watched Rodrigo on a few occasions, I thought to myself, do you know what? This is a young player who wants to break into the first team of the Spanish squad. Let's go get him. I have someone new now, so I heard this guy's a really cool guy. I think I can negotiate with him. He's not looking to take the mick. But at the same time, they know that we haven't scouted. I don't know how they're finding out all this information about Chelsea. But they know we have not scouted Rodrigo. But at the same time, I'm not looking to break the bank for this kid. He's a talented player. Even though he's 26, he's very talented. Currently, the transfer sum is very, very low. but at the same time, I thought, you know what? I'm not willing to waste time. I've got a transfer budget. Let me go in quite high, and I decided to offer them 22 million, which is way above the asking price. So I thought, why not? He decided he's not going to mess around. He probably thought this guy's an absolute idiot. But I thought 22 mil. I wasn't looking to mess around. He was my last option. I didn't want to get anybody. There was no one else I could think of. So I thought, why not go in and get Rodrigo? I've paid way above the asking price, and to be honest with you, Valencia have got themselves a bargain. He is 26, so I think he could have been worth a bit more. So anyways, we've got Rodrigo into London and decided to speak to his agent about possibly offering him a contract. Now, in my mind, he is going to be starting in the team, and I thought I'd just let him know that he's going to be a very important player. He's smiling, he's happy. The agent wants to know how long are we going to keep him for. He's 26 at the moment. As you know, we don't keep players over 30, so I said I'll offer him a 4-year contract, which is more than reasonable. Hoping that he'll be quite happy. I see the smile on Rodrigo's face, knowing that I think he wants to join us. They want to know if we're going to discard the release clause. Again, I'm quite happy to disregard the release clause, and we can move on to the next part of negotiations. They want 60k. They want a signing on bonus of 860, and appearance fee after 15 appearances. They want £980,000. Now, obviously, if you want that amount of money, then you got to play. I want to see you put in the work. So I've raised that to 25 appearances. Quite happy with the wage. 60k. 26 years old. I know this kid is going to score goals for me. This one is a massive gamble. This kid could possibly cost me the job. If he doesn't do well in his first 2 years at Chelsea, he could possibly cost me my job. But we're quite happy with that. I'm in no mood to mess around. Offer him exactly what they want, and we've managed to sign 2 players in the first week. So we've done some good business already. Half of our transfer budget is gone to 2 players. Savic is in the squad and Rodrigo is in the squad at the same time, just before the tournament starts in the next 4 days. Didn't go up to the press conference, so I decided straight away I need to go back to the drawing board because I've got a lot of work to do. Decided to put Rodrigo in the team for Giroud. Giroud is going to go onto the bench. Savic, he's going to go straight into the team, and I'm quite happy with where my team is. Now, I've obviously put them in a very intensive training regime. Unfortunately, they both were not happy. I got word back from the coaches that they didn't put their effort into training this week, which I can understand because they are new. It's a new country, it's a new club, there are language barriers, so I'm willing to work with them over the next coming weeks, but I'm not going to be too hard on them, to be quite honest. What I want them to do is see if they can actually work hard during the pre-season. Now, we've got 3 big games against big clubs: Juventus, PSG and Barcelona. Again, it is friendlies, but I've told the lads, listen, even though these are friendlies, it's going to be, I'm deciding where the club is at. If we can do well in the preseason, then we don't need to pick up anyone else. But just as we're talking about picking up people, Real Madrid come in with just under 100 mil. And again, boys, it's a very tempting offer, but this is our new captain. And Chelsea doesn't sell our top players, so I've decided to reject the offer. But when we're thinking about getting rid of players, there's one player I thought I want to get rid of, and that's Gary Cahill. Not his biggest fan. He is going to concede goals for us. So I thought, let me sell him now while we can get some money from him. And while we're here, I decided to block any further offers we get for Eden Hazard, because I don't want Eden Hazard to come to me and say he wants to go to Real Madrid, because I already know that he wants to play under Zinedine Zidane. But let me block any transfers. So we are on to our first game of the preseason against Juventus in the American tour. I've decided to play a full strength squad. Juventus have decided to mix up some of their squad with some experienced players and some youth players, but we get off with a great start of Hazard with 15 minutes, bangs in his first goal in our preseason tour. Then Rodrigo scores on his Chelsea debut. Willian bangs in his third, and then Hazard in a penalty in the 70th minute makes it 4-0, and we see out the game for a 4-0 win against a not so very good Juventus side. But I'm quite happy for the morale, for the fact that Rodrigo got off the mark, which is good for any striker's confidence, and we've won our first game. I see that someone's coming for, I think it's Doncaster coming for Joshua McEachran, and even though it's not a priority in terms of developing our young players, I'm not going to get in the way and decide to accept their offer, and we move on to our second game of the the American Challenge Cup in our preseason tour against PSG. Now, I know PSG are going to put out their their fully strength squad. And as I thought, Neymar, Cavani, Di Maria, Marquinhos, they're all starting. But we again, Hazard, our captain, leads by example and gets us off the mark with a great finish. Marquinhos protests and gets a card for his protest. We make us substitutions. It's 1-0. Hazard again scores to make it 2-0. Neymar makes it 2-1. But we managed to see out the game for a nice, comfortable 2-1 win against Paris, and that's our second win of the pre-season tour. We get an offer for Gary Cahill. Dortmund comes in and decides to pay more than what we're asking for, and I immediately accept their offer for Gary Cahill, and the Englishman is going to be going off to Germany for £14.4 million, which I'm absolutely happy with because I thought I was going to get less than that. So we've got Barcelona coming up in our first game, and this is where, boys, we separate the men from the boys against an absolutely fantastic Barcelona team. So Messi gets the ball here. I dive in early with David Luiz. I thought it's a friendly. The ref's just going to give me a bit of a warning. Yes, it's a penalty, but the ref decides he's got other plans and decides to give me a red card in the 30th minute of the game, and we're down. And one thing you don't do, boys, is go down to 10 men against a Barcelona team, whether they're playing their strongest side or their weaker side. It doesn't matter, lads, because Barcelona will punish you whether you have 12 men or 11 men. So they get a penalty. Luis Suarez steps up and he reads it right. We make the save, and already Chelsea get the ball back, and we're holding it up, make sure that Barcelona don't get the rebound, and we play out from the back, nice and comfortable, and we're playing down the wing to Willian, and Willian gets the ball away. Boys, it was like this for pretty much the whole of the game. We're defending like crazy. I take Hazard off because he's getting tired. Bring on Pedro in his place. Morata holds the ball off for Pedro. Pedro turns and then bangs in a nice goal in the 86th minute. And Pedro is going crazy. He's going to go to the camera, celebrate, but then he realises, hold on, that's my old team. Let me just calm down, relax, and fall to the ground. Let everyone lie down on top of me. And we're 1-0 up. 10 men down. 1-0 up against Barcelona. And we're about to seal off our third win of the American Challenge Cup, and this is going to be great because we need to do well in America, because part of the objective is that we need to make sure we sell shirts overseas, and doing well in this tournament will definitely meet those objectives in the club. So we managed to see out our win, our 1-0 win against Barcelona, and I'm absolutely happy with the lads. It shows a lot of great character. As you can see, there's a lot of complaints about the referee, but we've picked up the win. We've got no complaints. And we move on. Pedro there is trying to stay calm, but inside you can tell he's absolutely buzzing because Barcelona sold Pedro to Chelsea, and we move on to our next game. So David Luiz has picked up a suspension. They asked if we're going to fine him, but I thought no, it's just a pre-season game. David Luiz will learn, but he's going to be he's going to be starting most of our games when the season starts. So I don't really want to upset him any further. He's just going to take the suspension, and we're just going to move on to our next game, and we have Real Madrid. So I simulate this game. I don't think we're going to be playing against a strong Real Madrid side. They're playing in a 4-3-3. Again, I'm keeping the same team. I'm not changing anything. We notice that the only big players are on is probably Ramos, Quaresma, and Benzema. I noticed that Zinedine Zidane, his son, is in the goal. So I decided, lads, let's go at them. William scores in the 20th minute. Then Savic bangs in a goal. 20 minutes later, 6 minutes later, Azpilicueta makes it 3-0. And I think at this time, they decide to bring on Ronaldo to hopefully salvage the game. But I think it's a bit too little, too late. And then Savic makes it 4-0. And then that's GG's, boys. 4-0 against Real Madrid. So that's the Spanish Giants, both on the end of a defeat. And they've decided, Barcelona have decided to pick up Riyad Mahrez after them getting beaten by Chelsea, and we are through to the next round. I believe we are now in the final. I think because we topped our group, we played Real Madrid, we are now in the final, and a press conference. I've been called to a press conference. They're asking me lots of questions, but the most I want to do is just really praise my players. I really want my players to get on side and really respect me as a new manager. I'm young, I'm impressionable, I'm very keen to win things. So the first thing I want to do, I don't want to talk about fixtures or managers or the other club. I just want to praise my boys because they've shown a lot of great character, especially going against the Barcelona game where we went down to 10 men, but we managed to squeeze out a win. So that was definitely a boost for the confidence for the lads, and I'm very happy with them. So I thought, let me give them a bit of praise. So we move on to the final, and lo and behold, we have Barcelona again, and I'm sure they are out for blood to try and get the win over us. Not many teams get to replay Chelsea so soon, But do you know what? We're ready. We believe in our abilities, especially in the new tactics that I've put in place for the boys. So hopefully Chelsea can get themselves another win over Barcelona. It's going to be a tough game, playing the same team. So it's 0-0. 4 minutes, we steal the ball back with Alonso. Alonso passes the ball down to Morata. Morata does a turn, gives it to Savage. Savage sees William making a run. William runs it in of the ball. He gets there, low driven, back of the net, and we are 1-0 up in which just under 6 minutes. 1-0 up against Barcelona, and we're cruising. Chelsea, the confidence is high. Look at that, the chemistry is high. So on the 30th minute, Jordi Alba is keen to impress because he knows that we came in for him. He gets the ball, manages to ride the challenge. Ref plays the advantage. He plays the ball down to Coutinho. Coutinho squares it to Rakitic, and Rakitic puts it in the back of the net to make it 1-1. And Barcelona are back in the game. And I know that they're pushing for that win, and they were for about a few minutes. So we're back to the 38 minutes. Get the ball again with Morata to Kante. Kante plays the ball down to Rodrigo. Rodrigo plays a nice ball to Morata. Morata onto his weaker foot and does a nice low-driven finesse in the back of the net. And we are 2-1 up against Barcelona. Morata is going absolutely crazy. We want Morata to get on the ball because mentally, unfortunately, Morata, for some reason, something is impacting on Morata's ability to really push through and become one of the best in the world. We managed to get the 2-1 win, and we hold on to that until the 90th minute. Barcelona get a corner. Courtois rises to the occasion, grabs the ball. Ref calls a foul, and Andre Gomez picks up a yellow card. And I think at the end of that game, boys, it is pretty much GG's, and we finally beat Barcelona in a final to win the American Challenge Cup. And I cannot be any happier. The board is happy. I'm happy. And I'm absolutely ecstatic, lads. It's a great start to my Chelsea career. And we get the win, and it's GG's, boys. So finally, Chelsea win our first cup of the campaign. It is a pre-season. It's just a pre-season, so I'm not going to get too excited, but it's great for the boys. It's great for the confidence going into the back into when the Premier League starts. But again, happy with our signings. I don't know. I feel like I need to make one more signing, lads. I'm not too sure which one, and this is where you guys come in. Can you guys help me out and tell me who do you think we should sign in before the Premier League starts? Where do you think our weaknesses lie? Is it up front? Is it in the midfield? Do we need to strengthen areas? You tell me in the comment section below what players you want me to sign, and also tell me what other players you feel that I should take over. Sorry, what teams you think I should take over. In whatever division, whatever country it is, I don't mind. Let me know in the comment section below, lads. And then I'll see you at the next episode of the Takeover, where we're going to see if Chelsea can get a good start to the Premier League. So guys, if you do like this video, smash a like, subscribe if you are new, put your bell on, boys, and tell me what you think of this series so far. So guys, until then, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you at the next upload.